arms work just as hard as our legs. Fire up your triceps.
Your hips are dipping, always the option to come down to the knee.
Not as a weakness, but as a sense of strength, something that's empowering.
Namaste.
Hi yogis, Katy Gassaway here. Thank you first of all for being patrons, I appreciate you. And if you're enjoying the videos, definitely let me know if you have any requests and share it with your friends. Help me get the word out if you like it. But today we're gonna be doing a full flow regarding twists. So twisting is really good for our digestive system, it's good for our spinal health. It's also sometimes a little bit uncomfortable. It's not something a lot of people like to do because we spend so much of our day like this or forward or maybe even a little bit back, but we don't do a ton of twisting and it can be a little uncomfortable. Also because a lot of times when we twist, we hold our breath. So when we're working on twisting today, really think about using your inhale to lengthen your spine and then twisting on the exhale. So letting yourself really breathe into your twist as opposed to just twisting as far as you think you can and then kind of panting or holding your breath. And that'll make twisting a little bit more enjoyable. But it is something that's really good for us. It will help your spinal health for sure. And today we're also going to be incorporating a little bit of arm balances, working our way up to some side crow options, potentially. Otherwise, we're just going to get some nice deep twists in. So that being said, I don't think you really need props today. You might want to block, but other than that, I think you should be good. So let's go ahead and get started on our backs today. You're going to make your way down just to a comfortable resting place. So that could be arms and legs long like Shavasana. It might be feet on the floor, knees up to the sky. It could be soles of feet together, knees open wide. Whatever makes you feel the most grounded and centered in your space. And start to find some small adjustments if you need to untuck your shoulders or change the tilt of your tailbone so your low back is a little more grounded. And start to deepen your breath. Each inhale, feel your rib cage, your belly inflate and expand. And each exhale, let yourself empty out, release and relax. Taking this opportunity now to really commit to your breath, to let yourself focus on finding space on those inhales, opening up your spine, finding space in your body. On your exhale, deepening into it, bringing yourself out. As you're ready, start to find some gentle movements. Maybe stretch your arms overhead or wiggle your knees side to side, flex your toes, hug your knees to your chest, anything else that might feel good. And once you've kind of reawakened your body, start to pull your knees in if you haven't already. Give them a good little hug. Keep your right knee hugged in, send your left leg all the way out long. We're going to start with a supine twist, so hug your knee in and up. Then as you exhale, just take it across your body, letting your opposite shoulder, your right shoulder, stay grounded as you let your left leg go towards the floor. And if you want to, you can kind of look over your shoulder towards your hand if your neck is okay with it. Otherwise, maybe just looking straight up to the ceiling and just starting to get that nice little gentle stretch and twist through the spine and the side of the body. And slowly coming back to center. Knees towards your chest, maybe a little rock and roll to reset. And extending the right leg this time, switching sides, left leg goes long, maybe looking over to the left side. It's still early in practice and maybe early in the day for you yet. Just taking this nice and slow. Slowly coming back to center, knees into your chest. You can either press your way up or rock your way upright. We're going to come all the way to a seat. So once you're in a seat, sit up nice and tall, start to tuck your chin down towards your chest, and then rock your right ear over towards your right shoulder. We're just going to go all the way around in a big circle. So taking it slow, head going down towards your back. If you feel any little tight spots that you want to rock back and forth or hold and breathe, go for it. Once you've done a complete circle to one side, you're just going to pause in the middle and switch and go the other way. Noticing any differences on this side. And keeping your chin tucked in towards your chest, roll your shoulders up by your ears and then squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, sending your heart a little bit forward. And do a few more of those, just opening up space in the chest and shoulders. If you have any shoulder issues, you can always do one shoulder at a time too, just kind of alternate. And then from here, we're going to start to warm into our twists a little bit more. And I like to think of twisting as kind of like letting go, wringing yourself out. Today it's a really nice rainy day here in Texas, so you have that feeling of just kind of like washing away, getting yourself cleaned out. So that's a good way to think about your twist too, is very detoxifying. So with that in mind, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Then we're going to exhale, take our right hand across to the outside of our left leg. Left hand plants behind you. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, just gentle seated twist, maybe peeking over your left shoulder a little bit. But again, if the neck is tight, just look to the side instead. And like I mentioned in our little intro, every inhale, think about sitting up taller, lengthening through the spine. Every exhale, that's when you take that little extra opportunity to twist. So twisting as you breathe out. Again, think about wringing yourself out, letting go. Inhale, coming all the way back up, reach tall. And then exhale, switching sides. So left arm crosses over this time, maybe resting on your knee or your thigh. Right hand is kind of like a little fulcrum behind you, sitting up tall or through the crown of your head and deepening into your twist. Also, when we twist, sometimes we think about twisting from our mid to low spine a lot, so that's why people think it's uncomfortable. If you think about twisting a little bit more from your chest, your shoulders, your heart, you can get more opening in your heart that way, and it's a little less uncomfortable for the rest of your spine. Inhale, coming back through center, and then exhale, just make your way into a tabletop. We're going to come onto hands and knees, hands right under our shoulders and knees right under our hips. From here, inhale, cow pose, drop your belly gaze forward, send your tail up. And exhale, cat, crawling around, arch your back. Inhale, cow, let your belly sway and stretch. Exhale, cat, curl around, arch. Keep going with your own breath and feel free to change these up. So if you want to take a little twist, a little side to side movement, maybe a little thread the needle. We're gonna do some shoulder stretching here in a second, but just an option if you want it, or maybe some child's pose. Just kind of explore movement that works in your body over the next few breaths. There's no need to rush. If you want to pause this and take a little bit longer, you certainly can as well. For me, I'm going to stretch out my wrists a little bit because I know we're going to be doing some arm balances later, like I mentioned, side crow. So twisting my hands a little bit back towards me, sinking into that stretch. Just take a couple more breaths. And making your way back to tabletop eventually. Take a big breath in. And exhale your way to downward facing dog. From here, stretching out your hamstrings, opening up your chest, finding any motions in your down dog that help you feel more grounded in your space today. Start to engage your belly, hug your low belly in and up, send your tailbone up and back. Take another full breath in. And full breath out. Then from here, you might want to walk your feet in just a little bit closer. We're going to start to do a down dog twist. So you're going to start to lift your right hand up off the ground, and you're going to reach it to the outside of your left leg. So you might grab onto your hamstring, your calf, your ankle, and then you're just going to twist a little bit like you're peeking under your armpit. So it might look like this. We might not be anywhere close to that. That's okay. But just wherever we are, kind of threading the needle like we're poking our head through the other side of our body. Take one more breath in. And exhale back to center. We'll get to switch this time. So this time left hand comes across. Again, grabbing outside wherever we can grab. And then just kind of poking your head through, saying hello. Opening up through the sides of the rib cage, the chest. Take one more breath in. And exhale back to your down dog. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Your next inhale, look forward. As you exhale, take small steps up to the front of your mat for rag doll. So once you're up at the top of your mat, bend your knees gently, let your head and neck relax. You can allow your arms to dangle, you can grab opposite elbows, you can interlace your hands behind your head. And start to find some gentle movement here. You can sway side to side, shake your head yes and no, shift the weight around into your feet. And slowly relax your hands. Shimmy your feet to a standing with distance. That could be hip width or big toes to touch with a sliver of space between the heels. And as you breathe in, rise slowly all the way up to standing. From here, we're going to meet with eyes closed at hands at heart center. And take this opportunity to set an intention for your practice. So maybe it is that intention today of just kind of wringing yourself out, letting yourself go, freeing yourself from any obligations or expectations that are no longer serving you in your life. Letting yourself be washed away and cleansed. Whatever your intention is today, take a big full deep breath in, seal it in your heart. And exhale, let it go. We'll take another breath in together. And exhale, let it out. From here, flutter your eyes open. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach your arms up overhead, lengthening up through the sides of your body, pulling your belly button towards your spine. And then notice where you're kind of holding on. So where you tend to keep your tension, whether it's scrunching your shoulders by your ears, roll them down your back. Maybe it's gripping into your toes. See if you can relax them, locking out your knees. Can you soften your knees and let your muscles do the work? So finding those spaces where you can maintain engagement, but find a little bit of more relaxation, letting go. Take a big breath in. And from here, we're going to exhale, add an open twist. You're going to take your left arm behind you, reach your right arm forward, and then just stretch through your chest, your shoulders, maybe peeking over that left shoulder a little bit as you go. From here, inhale, coming back to center, and then exhale, twisting to the other side. So left arm comes forward, right arm comes ahead, peeking over that right shoulder a little bit. Think about lengthening from fingertips to fingertips. Then inhale, slowly coming back to center. And exhale, starting to fold your way forward. From here, find a halfway lift, inhale. I'm gonna turn just so you can see me. Exhale, high plank, plant your hands, step back, top of a push-up pose. Remember, always the option to come down to our knees if we're still working on core or shoulder strength. Otherwise, pressing into the balls of your feet. Either way, stacking your shoulders over your elbows, over your wrists. Take a breath in. As you exhale, shift forward, lower all the way down. Elbows stay in close. Once we're on our bellies, tops of the feet are going to come to the floor. You're going to extend your right arm out to a T. So this is one of my favorite stretches. I think it has a video all of its own, actually, or at least it's in several of my other ones. You can do your palm face up or face down. We're going to do that inner shoulder stretch. Slowly rolling onto your right side. Now this left leg, the foot may rest behind you. Awesome if it does. You can also just stack it on top of your other leg or just let it rest on the floor if we're not quite there yet. As you begin to deepen into that inner shoulder stretch, maybe the foot rests on the floor. Those of us who want to loop the arm around behind us, great. Some of us might hold our own hand. It's a little early in the day for that for me. Take another breath in. And exhale, unwind back to center. Switch sides. Take your other arm out to a T. And then slowly roll onto your side. Try to relax your head and neck here. A lot of times I'll see people kind of straining, trying to force themselves over. Just let your head relax. Picture yourself unwinding a little bit more. Take another breath in. And exhale, coming all the way back down to center. Both hands in by your chest. back to the toes or the balls of your feet. Inhale, press straight up to high plank or all fours if you'd rather. And exhale your way to downward facing dog. Starting to go through that a little bit faster. Inhale, look ahead. Exhale, step or hop your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach up tall, going into those twists. Exhale, open twist. Inhale, coming back to center. If you go the other side, it doesn't matter, whichever way you want to start. Exhale, other side. Inhale, back to mountain. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga if you're ready for it. Lots of videos on chaturanga too if you haven't checked those out yet. Shift forward, lower down, halfway stop, build those triceps. Inhale, up dog, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and breathe it out. Last time through, inhale, look ahead. Exhale, step or spring to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, rising up, filling up. Exhale, open twist to whichever side your body goes. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, other direction. Inhale, back to mountain. And exhale, forward fold, moving my water so I don't stab myself in the face. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, chaturanga, step or hop back. Inhale, up dog. Remember, you can always just hold high plank and go straight to down dog too. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. All right, changing things up. Inhale, look ahead. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips, sit low. Pause and breathe here. So with chair, options, options, options. We can take big toes to touch, little sliver of space between the heels, inner thighs squeezing together, arms framing the face. So this is a very, very, very active chair. We might not all be feeling this today, especially lazy, rainy days like it is today. Might need for balance support or tight hips, feet and knees hip width distance apart. That doesn't mean my inner thighs aren't working. They're still energetically activated, like they're holding a block between my legs, but they're doing something here. From here, arms go and come up. They can bend a little bit if our shoulders are tight. We can even do hands to heart center. So holding into this chair, finding your breath, whatever your chair looks like today. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, open twist, just like we did in mountain. Opening up, right arm forward, left arm back. Now notice the knees. If your hips start to shift and your hips are doing the twist for you, your left knee is gonna jut way forward past your right, right knee is jutting forward past your left. So you've gotta pull your right hip back to center. Let the twist come from your chest and shoulders. Keep working those inner thighs to center. And then sinking into your hips, challenging your glutes. Now, look down at your left toes, commit to your balance, step your right foot to the back of your mat into a crescent lunge open twist. So we should still be able to maybe peek over our left shoulder a little bit. We're definitely fired up in our legs, opening up into our twist. Then inhale your way to a crescent lunge, facing forward. Now once you untwist yourself, you might realize like, ooh, I didn't step where I meant to step. So just readjust your feet if you need to, settle into your regular crescent lunge, start to press into the ball of that right foot so that you feel your right leg activate. Take another breath in, and exhale your way to warrior two. Pivot your right heel to the ground, sink into your left leg. We're doing left leg forward today. Why not? Mixing things up, all right? Opening up through the arms, stretching through your chest. So really lengthening out through your upper back will help you deepen into your twist. Stay committed to your lunge. Inhale, reverse warrior, reaching your right hand down your back thigh. Reach up and back through your left arm. Exhale, chaturanga. Hands come down to your mat. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Other side, inhale, look ahead. Exhale, make your way to the top of your space. Inhale, find a halfway lift.
Exhale, forward fold, relaxing your head and neck as you go. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your booty low, arms come up, hold and breathe. Now, I had somebody tell me once that like chair is an easy pose for them. Chair should not feel like an easy pose. If your chair feels like an easy pose, you're not challenging your chair enough. So sit your hips down and back. Make sure your glutes are doing something. If you have, or excuse me, your quads, your glutes too, but your quads. If you have kind of lazy quads like I do, notice what your toes are doing. So when your toes kind of grip into your mat, it kind of makes it hard for your legs to activate. So sometimes I'll even lift my toes up a little bit in my chair to really make sure that my quads are what's holding me up. So take a breath in your chair. Then remember, exhale, open twist. So this time, left arm forward, right arm back. Look down at the knees. Notice if the knee is cheating. Not that we ever mean to. Hug that hip back so that the twist is coming more from your chest. If that means that we're not twisting as deep, we're not like all the way here anymore, who cares? Let go of that idea, let go of that expectation. Come out of your twist a little if you need to. Look down at your right toes, take a breath in, exhale, step your left foot back, crescent lunge, open twist. So again, peeking into that right shoulder, still peeling this hip so that again, I'm not dipping into my hips. My hips are still facing forward. I'm still in my crescent lunge. Then as I breathe in, unwinding, chest faces forward, arms come up, regular crescent lunge. Adjust your stance if you need to. It's not a big deal if you didn't land where you intended. Relax your shoulders. Take a breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Pivot your heel to the floor. Shimmy out your feet a little further apart if you need to. Sink into your hips so that your inner thighs stretch. Look over your front middle finger. Hug your triceps in towards your bones. Stay deep in your lunge. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand to the back thigh. Reach up and back through the right arm. Think about lengthening through both sides of your rib cage, lifting up through the crown of your head like when you twist. Take a breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Frame your front foot. Step it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Moving a little faster through that. Inhale, look ahead. Exhale, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, sink your hips, sit low. Exhale, open twist, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, look down at your left toes. Exhale, step your right foot behind you, crescent lunge, open twist. Inhale, crescent lunge, arms go up. Exhale, warrior two, heel to the floor. Inhale, reverse warrior, stay low through your left leg. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, look ahead. Exhale, feet together, top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Work those glutes, work those quads. Exhale, open twist, right arm back, left forward. Inhale, look down at your toes. Exhale, step your left leg back behind you. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Press to the tops of your feet. Lift your knees off the ground. You can. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. This time through, we're going to add a little bit more challenge, okay? So just either stay with those open twists, especially if you feel your low back needs to, or if we're pregnant. If we're pregnant, we shouldn't be doing the prayer twist and revolve crescent lunge that are coming, FYI. So stick with the open twist if we need to. Otherwise, we're going to add some deeper twists. Inhale, look ahead. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Here we go with the deeper twist. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, sink into your hips. Exhale, prayer twist. Right elbow comes outside of our left thigh. We're gonna look down at our toes, look down at our knees. Notice that we're not like twisting into our hips. Keep the knees level. Keep rolling the left shoulder down and back. Now, look down at your left toes if you haven't already. Balance yourself. Lift your right heel as you step your right foot behind you. Now we're in revolve crescent lunge. So again, rolling that shoulder open, deepening into the twist. We can come down to the right knee if we need to. Otherwise, lifting it off the ground for balance. Just here for another couple breaths. Pull your belly button away from your thigh. Inhale, slowly unwind up to your crescent lunge. Take your time. And then exhale your way to warrior two. We made it. Inhale, star pose. We're going to add on a little bit. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Now take a couple breaths here in your wide-legged forward fold, your prasarita, if you want to kind of bend side to side, if you want to do maybe a little chest expansion, if you want to grab onto one leg, grab onto the other leg, whatever makes you happy, just stay still too. We're going to do an open twist in a moment or two here. Then from here, I want you to plant your right hand down on the ground under your face. Inhale, lift your left arm up. So finding again that open twist, that expansion through your chest. Take another breath in. And exhale, back to center. We'll do the other side next time. Either hands to your hips or arms out to a T. Inhale, coming all the way back up. And exhale, warrior two once again. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, chaturanga, hands to the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, look ahead. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, bend your knees, sink your hips. Exhale, remember change hands to prayer. Inhale, sink a little lower. Exhale, twisting into your prayer twist. So when I say roll the shoulder down and back, what I mean is sometimes when we're twisting, we get so into this like, that our chest is just facing the floor, and you notice I'm not really twisting anymore. I'm just kind of forcing my elbow across my body. So we still want to maintain that twist in the cervical spine. So we're opening that shoulder down and back. Again, checking in with our knees. Look at your toes. Find a focal point on the floor if we have balance issues. Step, woo, see, I jinxed myself. Step your left foot back to the back of your mat. Hands to prayer again. Again, we can come down to the knee for more support, and then keep rolling that shoulder down and back. Those of us who have pretty good balance and we want more challenge, maybe looking to the side or looking up at the ceiling. If we need a little bit more balance support, just staring down at that spot by our toes. Then inhale your way all the way back up to crescent lunge. And exhale to warrior two, sinking in again to that front leg. From here, inhale, star pose. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to turn around because I don't really like that visual. We're going to do that twist on the other side. So again, you can take a little moment here for yourself, even out any movements you need to even out. And then we're going to twist the other way, the way we didn't do the first time. So left hand this time is going to plant on the floor. Inhale, reaching your right arm up. You will have a side that's tighter than the other, so just notice that. You don't need to force it, just embrace it. Take another breath in. And exhale, unwinding back to center. I'm gonna flip back around so I'm facing the right way. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale, back to your warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back, extend. Exhale, chaturanga. I'm gonna skip this one because you don't need to do every single chaturanga. Take a breath in. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Another inhale. And exhale. And come on down to your knees. All right, good job so far. So we are going to do a little bit of core just to get our bellies fired up before we work on our side crow, which is going to be our peak pose for today. So get our bellies fired up. We're going to come down onto our backs. And we're going to do a little bit of figure 4 crunches. So you'll start on your back, cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh, just like a supine figure 4. Hands behind your head or neck. Take a big breath in, and exhale, lift your shoulders off the ground. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. Try to keep your chin up out of your chest so that our cervical spine stays nice and long. We're not obstructing our breathing by going like this. We're just using our hands to gently support our head as we lift. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting the shoulders, resting the head. Keep the legs the same. Drop them over to your right side. So the foot may not land on the floor, that's okay. It might just kind of be in outer space if we have really tight hips, but just getting a little bit of that twist is what I'm looking for here. So getting a little bit of that twist happening. Again, hands behind the head or neck. Take a big breath in, exhale, lifting up. Now probably only the left shoulder is gonna lift for most of us this time. That's fine, because we're targeting the obliques right here on the left side. And you can even do like I'm doing. You can take your hand and put it on your side and actually feel those muscles on the side of your body activating as you lift. That's what we're going for 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center, unwind, stretch it out however you want to. Switching sides, right ankle on top of the left thigh, hands behind the head or neck, breathe in, and exhale, lifting up. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. If you're feeling hot, you can do a strong exhale out your mouth. It was cold and rainy when I came in here, and I really turned up the heat because I was cold, and now I'm really hot and regretting it, so I'm gonna exhale out my mouth a little bit. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, keeping the legs the same, drop them towards your left, and keep going. So if you couldn't see in the first camera angle, just you can take the hand to the side of the body and you might be able to feel those muscles working. It's in between your rib cage and your hip. So I was teaching this actually earlier today and somebody was like, I don't feel it, I don't feel it. If you're grabbing your rib cage, you're not gonna feel it. So you gotta kind of root around and you'll feel it. For 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center, knees to your chest, long body stretch, whatever you need, and make your way all the way back up. So now we're gonna play with crow pose to help us get ready for side crow. So if you're still working on crow pose, excuse me, you might have a little bit of a hard time with side crow. And that's okay, that's how we all learn. But crow pose is the best way to kind of get that feeling of being on your hands. Once you have that down, once you have regular crow, a little bit more comfortable, side crow, exactly the same, just with a twist, just twisting a little bit. So, starting with crow pose, I'll have a block handy if we need to use it. But fingers spread nice and wide. The wider our fingers spread, the bigger our base, the more we can balance. Looking forward, bend your elbows, create that little shelf. Bring your elbows over your wrists. Maybe this is where we are today. That's fantastic. Maybe we start to lift a foot. For some people, lifting one foot at a time actually makes it harder for them to balance. They lift one foot and they're like, ah, and they topple, okay? So if you're one of those people that hasn't been successful for you, today, why don't you try lifting both feet at the same time? Even if it's just like a second of hover, maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need to lift both feet simultaneously. If we're still maybe not at the point where we feel okay lifting feet, that's fine. Put a block underneath your feet, bend your elbows, looking forward, and then just practicing shifting weight into your hands. Just getting comfortable with the idea of putting less weight in your feet and more weight on your hands. And regardless of how we put weight on our hands, think of it more in the fingers and less in the wrists. So kind of clawing into your mat a little bit. I don't mean that exaggeratedly like this, because I see some people go to the extreme. I mean, if you're like showing off on Instagram or something and doing it like that, that's one thing. But if you're learning, your whole palm should still be on the floor. You're just kind of gripping more into your mat. And if arm balances in general are just not happening for us today, maybe we have a wrist injury or we just don't want to do it, yogi squat. Okay, just hang out in a squat. It could be like this too, but just getting a little bit of hip opening, maybe wiggling side to side. Awesome. So for those of us doing crow, take at least 4 or 5 breaths. Play with your crow pose. You can pause this video. You can do a little bit more. Those of us who are really comfortable with crow, maybe try straightening your arms a little bit once you're up there. I have a nice video on crow alternatives or crow challenges, so you can go check that out while you're waiting. But once you've practiced crow, we're gonna move into a side crow. The easiest approach for me for side crow is coming from a prayer twist. So just like we did in our flow, you're gonna sink into your hips, cross your elbow over your body, sink even deeper, okay? So this might be where some of us stay, especially those of us who are like opting out of arm balances today. This is a great balance pose because you're probably off your heels, most of us. We're in a really deep twist. You can just practice on this really deep twist. Really great for your body. 2 ways to approach crow. Seems to me that the more flexible of us, maybe more flexible, less strong, have an easier time with side crow with both elbows making contact with your body. So the reason I say more flexible, because it takes more spinal flexibility. I have hair all over me somehow. All right, makes more flexibility to get twisted enough to get this back elbow in front of your hip. So also I want to note that regardless of where you're, if you have one or both arms on you, you're not putting them directly on your joints. You're going behind your knee and in front of your hip, okay? So we're not directly on the joints. But for more twisty people who are maybe working on building strength, you can have both arms on the side of your leg to support you. So my hands are just like crow. My fingers are spread wide. I'm looking forward just like crow, and I start to lift my feet off the floor. If I feel a little ambitious, I can start to straighten my legs, okay? But that's not necessary. We don't have to do that today. For those of us who are maybe a little stronger, maybe a little less flexible, you can just do one elbow. It's the front elbow that goes right behind your knee, okay? So it's just the one elbow. Now, a lot of times I say that, and when I first started practicing myself, you feel like, oh my gosh, my other elbow has to be all the way out here so that it's not touching my leg, and then you just like fall on your butt all the time, okay? So your hands are still shoulder width distance, your elbows stay rolled in, but you're just not resting your hip on your back elbow. So you're still looking forward, you're still lifting your hips, you can still straighten your legs, but you're just using more of your strength to hold you up and less on this other elbow, okay? And you'll hear people say that like, this one is the correct side crow and this one isn't even a side crow, it's flying whatever or something or other. Fine, whatever you want to call it, okay? Don't take it too seriously. It's yoga, we're learning, we're having fun, all right? So those are the 2 approaches. And be sure you try them on both sides. So we can try it again from this prayer twist with both elbows, looking forward, leaning into it, or maybe just the one elbow making contact, leaning into it, okay? And then those options of straightening the legs, that's all on you. So take a few minutes, play with it. I encourage you to like pause the video, have fun. If it makes you feel better, sometimes having the block in front of your forehead, resting your forehead on the block. So just like some of us do in regular crow, you can kind of have it there for like moral support. To be honest, is it really gonna catch you if you fall flat on your face? Probably not. But it'll be there as like a little bookend to kind of help you, you know, get over that fear of falling. So if you wanna try that, you can, but have some fun with it. Once you've played with it, take a seat, take a few deep breaths, take a full breath in, and a full breath out. And we're just gonna stretch out our wrists a little bit. Take your arms out in front of you, thumbs down, palms out. Cross one arm on top of the other. We're gonna roll inwards and roll outwards. You can continue with this stretch if it feels like it's working for you. Do a few with one arm on top. Do a few with the other arm on top. Or if you have another method you like, maybe pressing into the mat or just stretching your wrists like this, whatever works for you. But just get those wrists a little bit juiced out from all of the arm balancing we just did. And then again, we're just gonna Sit up, arms come overhead. Big breath in. And exhale, gentle seated twist. Over to the left. Inhale, coming back to center. And exhale, gentle twist to the other side. Back to center. Take your legs out long. Breathe in and exhale, forward fold. So if you're feeling a little tight in the hamstrings like I am, you can just bend your knees a little bit so that you have some more space. I kind of like to let my back round a little bit after a lot of twisting because it has been a lot of spinal work. If you prefer to keep a long flat back, certainly welcome to as well. Inhale, coming all the way back up to a seat. Soles of feet together, knees open wide. Take a big breath in, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, gently folding forward. If it's too much on the hips, just take the feet out a little further away. Make your diamond a little more narrow. Again, every breath in, finding length. Every breath out, deepening. And inhale, coming all the way back up to a seat. We'll do a little seated figure four today. So take your left leg out long, right leg comes on top, bend the left foot, bend the left knee, put the left foot on the floor. Two options. I prefer personally grabbing on to your shin or your thigh so that you're not resting back on your wrist. I have sensitive wrists. You may not be like me. You may be totally fine. If it feels better for you to lean back in your wrists, then just bring your shin closer to your chest. So you should feel something. If you don't feel anything in seated figure four, do half pigeon instead. And then after a few breaths, just extend your legs out long. You can give them a little shake. Cross the other leg on top. Same thing on the other side. Flex your toes towards your knee to avoid any knee sensitivity. Relax your top and bottom teeth away from each other. We'll take 3 more deep breaths in and out. And slowly unlacing your legs. If you want a little bit more core challenge, you can extend the arms out long and slowly lower your way down. Otherwise, just making your way down to your back, however you choose to get there. Once you're down, happy baby. Take your knees out wide. You can grab for outside edges of your feet, outside edges of your calves, outside edges of your thighs. And then do whatever your body feels good doing. So remember, today is about just kind of unwinding, letting go of expectations, letting yourself be free from any routines or habits. Just kind of see what feels good to you today here. And when you're ready, hugging both knees into your chest. Back to that supine twist where we first started. Keep your right knee hugged in, left leg out long. And exhale, send it across your body, noticing hopefully more space through your spine, your chest. Inhale, coming back to center, both knees in, quick little reset. And switching sides. Inhale, left knee in and up. Exhale, taking it across your body. And just like you did with your breath, noticing your thoughts as well. Letting any thoughts that aren't serving you wash away. Let them be wrung out on your mat as you prepare for Shavasana, coming back to center. Both knees in. Give yourself a great big hug of gratitude. Take a full inhale. And exhale your way to Shavasana, back where we started. Find a comfortable resting place for your hands, your feet. It might look the same as where you started. It might be a little bit different this time. Find areas that you're holding on and focus on letting go. Feel free to stay right here resting for a little longer if you like. When you are ready, start to deepen your breath. Slowly bring awareness and movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Rock your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Gradually finding bigger movements in larger joints. Seal your practice with anything you might need, whether it's a long body stretch, knees to your chest, or anything else. At your own pace, rock on to your favorite side. Take this opportunity to thank yourself for your practice, to let go of anything else you need to let go of today that needs to be washed away and left behind. And as you're ready, make your way up to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed, hands at heart center. Thank you so much for being here with me today, for sharing your practice, your presence, your energy, for giving this gift of time to take care of yourself, which is the best way to take care of those you love. The highest and brightest in me honors and bows to the highest and brightest in you. So we bring our hands to third eye center and bow forward to one another. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice today. Great job. Way to show up. And always let me know if you have requests or recommendations. I really do listen and take them seriously. So if you liked the twisting, let me know. If it helped you, let me know. If you totally hated it and you don't ever want to do it again, I can't make any guarantees, but let me know. Maybe we can find a way to make twisting more enjoyable for you. So leave me some comments, send me some feedback, and if you really like it, share it with your friends. Sharing is caring. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and namaste.